to put a plan together to make that happen. Because I know it can happen, because I've personally done it, and I've helped departments do it all over the country. It is a solution to the problem. The other side of it, I looked at your comptroller filings from last year. Can anyone tell me what the uncollectible bills for your ambulance was last year?
50%,
Dollar figures.
700 and some thousand.
Uncollectible.
Right.
Your audit says 148,000.
What we had was a little 1.3, we predicted 700, so it's 700 something.
Have a discussion with your auditor, because the comptroller reflects 148,000 in uncollectible numbers. I believe there's a gentleman here I just shared that with a few minutes ago. That there's money out there that's not being collected. I don't know what measures are being taken to collect that. But there is solutions to this. There really is. And I would encourage that we get answers to all those questions before we make a decision to get rid of it. Because I can assure you, when you do, Charleston is going to impact me as well, because Charleston helps back up you guys. Charleston is our second due when we need help. So if they're over here helping, it's a trickle-down effect in the rural communities, and it does have an impact. That's all I have. Thank you.
Please try to keep your comments to 3 minutes as well. Sure.
Mr. Mayor, thank you, sir. Council, thank you very much. My name is Rich Shook. I lived in Mattoon all my life. I live at 610 South 8th Street. I worked for the city of Mattoon for just about 33 years. And it seemed like to me, you know, the firefighters get everything they want. We have other departments around here, including Public Works, the girls at City Hall, and stuff like that. Cemetery, parks. I never did make over $60,000 a year. We got some of these guys in the fire department making $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year. And I worked for the city of Mattoon for 33 years. You're kidding me. You're absolutely kidding me. I'm not the only one around town who thinks this either. Maybe I'm just the only one who has guts enough to say something to you folks. I think it'd be fair if you're going to give some cuts or anything like that. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, don't get me wrong. And maybe we never cut back to some of these salaries, including them too. That's all I have to say, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Who else would like to speak?
Guys, I'd like to say something.
Would you identify yourself, Bart?
My name is Bart Owen. I'm the Mattoon Firefighters Local President for our union. I'll just read a written prepared statement, so it's nice and simple. We, the firefighters union, believe that the city's decision to put forth a resolution to eliminate the ambulance service provided by the city represents a danger to the health and safety of the residents of Mattoon. The emergency medical response service our employees provide today is in line with the highest levels of professional care that we found anywhere in the state of Illinois. The ongoing training that we do, along with the career nature of our department, helps us provide the highest levels of trained personnel, most up-to-date equipment, and employees who truly are passionate about serving the emergency medical needs of this community. I was on the department in 2005, 2006. I've been there since the year 2000, when we had to wait 20 minutes for an ambulance. I have been on a call where we did CPR on a baby for 20 minutes waiting on an ambulance. It is not fun to do that on a living room floor in a mother's house. That is not fun. I have been on calls where 6 ambulances on a vehicle accident are not enough. Had to go to the hospital, drop the patient, come back and pick up another patient who direly needed care. And I'm sorry. This should not have been an option for us. We should never have been in that. The city of Mattoon residents deserve better than that. The people of Mattoon, especially our most vulnerable to the dangers of emergency medical episodes, deserve the best care that we can provide, and by reducing the services to the city, Mattoon will suffer. The EMS personnel deployed by the Mattoon Fire Department have established a professional firewall between our residents and the dangers posed by accident and life-threatening health issues every day. Thank you.
Are there others who wish to address the council? Yes, ma'am.
Edward King, who was on the water board for 30 years. And, I understand that they generated 700,000 for the use of the ambulance this last year. And it cost the city 300,000. So that looks like that's a profit of 400,000 to me. And if you can help people out and make 400,000, I think it's kind of stupid to quit it.
I live on the west side of Mattoon, and believe me, we all know the trains and where they stop. I want to know if there's an ambulance on my side of the tracks that can get to me when I need their help. And they have done a wonderful job of doing it. They have saved my life twice. So to get rid of them, in my mind, is just an atrocity. We need to know that we have that covered on the west side. Yes, you can wait for them to find another route around to my home or anybody else's home on the west side. But the bottom line is, then they have to try to find a way out of the way to the hospital. I want to know that I only have one of them trying to get the way around the trim to get to the hospital. To save my life or anybody else's life who happens to live on the west side of the tracks. Thank you.
Good evening. Wade Smith. I live at 2621 Shelby Avenue here in Mattoon. I've been a resident of Mattoon for about 20 years. I just heard about this on Friday, so I've got a couple of questions. Are we talking about getting rid of the ambulance as a cost saving, even though it's generating revenue?
It depends what you're talking about, the revenue.
It generates revenue, right? Without the ambulance, we would not have collected $700,000 last fiscal year,
It
right?
does generate revenue.
Okay.
There is expenses with that as well.
Right, about 100,000 a year, right?
Well,
Well, I was looking at,
They make 400,000.
I was looking through their financial records that they gave to me. It looks about 100,000 by the time you've got maintenance, your billing expenses, your certifications. So you build out 1.3 million, yet collected 700,000, and you've got somewhere between 1 and 300,000 in expenses, right? So you made money. Having these guys made money for the city to offset some of the other costs. Is that correct or not correct?
you've got to have employees costs in there too.
Okay, you're right. We have to have employees. Now, these guys may be able to tell us, but isn't 85 to 90% of what firefighters do EMS is medical by nature already?
I think if you go back and look at the average, about 77%.
77%. Okay. 77% is already medical. Why would you take something away from them that they already do? You're going to have the same amount of employees, right? And you're going to take income away from the city. Or is there a different plan for the fire department?
That's been the question. We've been reducing staff throughout the city for many years.
Okay.
And we continue to have to reduce staff.
And the fire department found a way to offset some of their costs through an ambulance service, right? Okay. Well, anybody ever look around your house, your furnishings? Guess what? They're made of petroleum products. They burn hot, they burn hard, they burn real quick. You ever seen lightweight construction? Burns really, really quick, burns really, really hot. Time is not your friend. So if you're talking about reducing staffing, okay, fire doesn't care about reduced staffing. I leave the city to go to work. My wife, my son are here. I trust Mattoon can provide life-saving skills. Should I have an emergency, should I have a fire, they're protected. You start cutting the fire department, we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to provide life safety to the citizens of this city. You cannot cut something that's making money. I mean, we're putting up a $3 million plus street vehicle garage so that they have breathing room. Come on, we're not short of money if we can do that. You know, if I can't pay my rent, I don't go out and buy dinner at a restaurant. If you're having trouble making it and the ambulance is making you money, you ought to get another ambulance. Get more staff. You provide how many middle-class jobs for a town that is struggling? These guys make, what, 40, 50, 60,000 a year? That's a good middle-class income, right? And they give back to their community. Every time they go on a call, that could be their life, right? They don't know what they're going on. It's the same with the police. Their life is on the line. Guys, quit cutting them and quit cutting us. I don't want to lose us. We have a great community here. If you start cutting our life safety stuff, there's nothing left. People will start moving out.
Let's pull down the clapping so we can get through some more. Comments in 3 minutes. Yes, sir, whatever. You please identify yourself.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Adam Woodrow. I'm the third district vice president with the Associated Fire Department. There's been a lot of ground covered tonight, and I will try to abide by your request. Limiting my remarks in 3 minutes. I'm going to paraphrase from the Illinois Municipal Code in direct respect to the firefighter substitutes bill. In any municipal fire department that employs full-time firefighters and is subject to a collective bargaining agreement, which you are, a person who is not qualified for regular appointment under the provisions of this Division 1 shall not be used as a temporary or permanent substitute for classified members of a municipality's fire department or for regular appointment as a classified member of a municipality's fire department unless mutually agreed to by the employee's certified bargaining agent. Such agreement shall be considered a permissive subject of bargaining. Municipal fire departments covered by the changes made by this amendatory act of the 95th General Assembly that are using non-certificated employees as substitutes immediately prior to the effective date of this amendatory act of the 95th General Assembly may, by mutual agreement with the certified bargaining agent, continue the existing practice or modified practice, and that agreement shall be considered a permissive subject of bargaining. A home rule unit may not regulate the hiring of temporary or substitute members of the municipality's fire department in a manner that is inconsistent with this section. This section is a limitation under subsection I of section 6 of Article 7 of the Illinois Constitution on the concurrent exercise by home rule units of powers and functions exercised by the state. If you'll permit me to put this, what I've just read in layman's terms. My understanding is the firefighters work in concert with a private ambulance service, guns, and then another private service that's operated through a funeral home. That was reached through the collective bargaining agreement, which is a binding agreement. Pulling the carpet out from under the firefighters who run the ambulances on the fire department would be a direct violation of the firefighter substitutes bill. In addition to that, if the game plan for the long haul was that there would be fewer firefighters employed because the ambulances were done away with, would not be possible either, because the collective bargaining agreement that they currently have states that there shall be 30 full-time uniformed firefighters in the department with a minimum of 8 on duty each day. There's currently 27.
which there has been a grievance filed and arbitration pending on the fact that there's a current hiring list, available people who have qualified for the position to be hired, yet the city has not hired for the 3 vacancies that are currently standing. So, to sum this all up, I just wish to say that whoever the attorney is giving the city advice, you're going to lose your battle on the 30 minimum firefighters that have to contractually be in place through the collective bargaining agreement. And you will also lose an unfair labor practice, which the members of the department and the local will file should a decision be reached to do away with the ambulance service in conjunction with the state statute on replacement or substituting firefighters. Thank you.
I believe a comment was made, the gentleman just left.
Adam, you have a question.
If I heard you correctly, did you say that we are home rule?
No.
Okay,
Home rule would be exactly from the statute.
okay. I wanted to make that clear because we are non-home rule. Okay, thank you. Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
I'm Rob Perry. I'm here to represent the concerned citizens over here about taxes. Okay, a couple of things about tonight. I know there's both sides of this issue. I'm glad to hear people are engaged and talking. I don't know who I'm going to ask this question to, but it's pointed at anybody who wants to pick it up. Could somebody please tell me where our economic situation is in the city and the funds that are coming in? Are we average? Are we below average? Are we in dire straits? Because this all boils down to a money question, folks. I'm sorry, I think the guys do a great job. I've never had any complaint of what they do. But the issue is, do we have enough money? And if we don't have enough money to take care of it, what I'm going to ask you is there enough money that you can squeeze away from something else without causing pain? I mean, I don't know where you're at. I look at the Bagel Fest, that's a great thing. I don't know how much money we're spending, but there's things that we gotta figure out what's most important here, and we gotta live within a budget, because the sky's not the limit. So who can tell me where we're at on budget? Where are we at here in the city? Are we in dire straits, yes or no? Who wants to answer that?
Every year, we're cutting more and more out of the
That's not what
department.
I'm
We're down to
asking,
10
I
grand.
wanna know where we're at, long-term, 5 years, where are we at?
We won't sustain 5 years without making cuts to employees or.
Are you at all-time manning low every other department here? Are you at an all-time low, yes or no?
I feel that, yes, we are very low in all our other departments. Yes.
So what we're saying is that if we want to continue under the circumstances that have in our fire department and our ambulance service, we gotta make some drastic changes on what you have to spend. So is there anything that you can take away from in order to salvage this without making more pain? I think you need to put something up so the folks can see the numbers of what we're talking about. I don't see any numbers, and I think that's what it comes down to. If we can afford to keep the guys, and we can do without a Bagel Fest, or we can do without a tourism thing, or whatever we're doing, if that's what it takes to make it work, and that's most important that all these folks are here, that's what we ought to be doing.
Well, and then that's the thing, we've got a lot of different funds that some money can be spent in some places but cannot be spent in others. Tourism has specific funds that it can be spent for, and that's where Bagel Fest is, a lot of, majority of Bagel Fest
Okay,
is
the
spent.
taxpayer's doing all he can handle, I tell you.
Exactly.
And we're at the limit to where I don't know how much more we can stand, because the more you tax, the harder it is to make people continue to do business. So the point is, it's either in the budget that you can do something, or it's not. Thank you.
Are there others who wish to address?
Answer Mr. Terry's question to the public. Public Works, since I've been on the council for 4 years, we've lost 3 employees, we've hired 1. I don't have the conscience to hire somebody in a year from now, tell them, I'm sorry, I have to let you go, for a person or 2 people that are feeding their families. when maybe they had a job. The Public Works has hit, we were at one time 40, 44, 46 people. We are now down to 18 to 20. So Public Works has been the hardest hit. The police department has been the hardest hit.
How many are we down in officers, Jeff?
36. That counts the chief and the deputy.
From,
We're supposed
how
to
many
be-
we have, how many we're supposed to have.
Between 42 and 45.
And the fire department, and I'm not denying, the fire department does a wonderful job. I've had service from you guys, when my husband broke an ankle last year, and I have had Mitch and Jordan for both of my parents over the years. Excellent care on both sides of the street, never once. But the fire department, we have gone back numerous times to you guys and asked, help us out. Drop the minimum manning by 1 or 2 people. Don't let us hire somebody. And maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I'm tired of fashioning. To answer your question, Mr. Bean, fire department cost us $1.3 million. It generated 700. That's a $750,000 loss. How many businesses in Mattoon can stand out and still survive?
Well, that's what I was saying. If we can't sustain it, and we have to do away with something else or change what we're doing. This is not about pitting one against the other here. I think the guys, they're fine, they do a great job. I'm not gonna argue it, but we gotta get back down to basics. What can we really afford and how long can we afford it?
Okay, I don't want to get into a debate here.
Sorry, thank you.
Commissioner Graven can speak, but Rob, you've already had an opportunity.
Thank you.
And, well, Mayor, if I could just add on to Commissioner Graven's comments to answer another part of that question, is when I first got on council, the employee cost of the total budget was at about 74% of the total budget was wrapped up in personnel costs. Following year, it was 75. Third year I was on council, it was 76. Last year, it was 77. If you take out a grant that the fire department received, more power to them, because they did the paperwork and put it in there. If you take that out of there, the cost was 80%. So it's going up at an increased rate each year. So where are we going to get to at some point when 100% of the city's budget is taken up for personnel costs? That's what we're trying to avoid.
And it comes down to services. What services can we cut? Do we stop going to barking dog calls? Do we stop patching holes in the streets? At some point, we've got to cut services. Here's the place we've got other private entities doing the same service.
Tax coming in. I mean, if all of you guys want to do a 1% sales tax for public safety, let's get another referendum. If you want to generate more money for the city, we're limited on what we get,
Table that and put it on the referendum. Table this stupidity and put that increase on a referendum.
Okay.
That's fine.
Hey,